All right, we are diving right in here for round two. This is uh, myself versus H Squid on a green-white Canopy Culling mid-range deck. Go ahead and get their deck loaded up here so we can look at it and talk about it when thinking about sideboarding and whatnot. Uh, kind of hustling to get in here for this game. Uh, Alrighty, we are rolling. So, winning the die roll, love to see that. Uh, Opening hand, we've got Gates, New Divide, New Divide, Yeji, Confidant, Confidant, Raise, Rampage. I do like having the Gates on turn one with no turn one play. I do not love not having anything particularly impactful going on. Though I suppose in a pinch, we can go Confidant on two, take two to shock in the New Divide, and then Confidant again on three, shock in the, just play the second New Divide tapped. One of the things that's very much on my mind is they have only one removal spell in the main, 4 copies of Event Horizon, which is going to prevent us from getting back the thing it removes. They do also have one Veil Touch Soulbinder, which can fight Yeji and Raise Rampage, but I think this is going to be a keep. I think Double Confidant is really nice. It makes things like Diabolical Minion become very good card advantage. Let's just lead on the Gates to the Underworld, get that rolling tap land on the turn where we don't have things to do. Tapped New Divide from our opponent here. So taking super simple, super slow lines here. This is not too shocking. Our opponent is not on a deck that does a whole lot immediately. I do like seeing this Diabolical Minion, which means we can go Confidant into Confidant Minion. So we're going to shock in New Divide and crack. And we're just going to go ahead and get a swamp here. And pay 2 for a Finax's Confidant. And pass. No world where our opponent pops Finax's Confidant here. They may hold up an Event Horizon. We see a Plains. 2-Gate Rallier is kind of the thing I was most expecting here, and unsurprisingly, that is what comes down. So we're going to get to untap and draw. That's a third Confidant. All right. We're going to shock in New Divide. I think we're going to crack it and go get... I could get the Mountain for Rampage. Or I could get the Mountain for Rampage. I could get a Plain, so I have 2 white sources, or I could just go get another Swamp. So I have more mana for stuff like Raise Rampage for the raise half of Raise Rampage. Let's let's cracking this for sure. That's why we shock it. I don't think I'm getting the Mountain here, despite having Rampage in hand. I think I'm holding off on getting the Mountain. So it really becomes a matter of, am I getting the Plains or am I getting the Swamp? There's also consideration for play Yeji here. So I can Minion plus Confidant next turn and Yeji back a New Divide, so I don't have to worry about missing a land drop potentially. That actually seems really appealing, because I don't think they have a way to remove Yeji here naturally. And Yeji also will stem their aggression. So let's... I think pushing myself to having no white cards in hand, I'm not going to get the Plains. I'm going to get the Swamp. We're just going to develop the Yeji. One of the things I was thinking about there was I could go Confidant into Minion, swing the Confidant I have on board. Canopy Culling, okay. That's gonna start presenting problems, sure enough. Interesting question here is, does our opponent shuffle the 2K Rallier or the token? And they shuffle the Rallier. So 3 drops they could play here. They could put a Club Promoter into play that just dies to Yeji. Same with Hardy Rough Rider, same with Renowned Rough Rider. So anything they could flash in besides their one of Queen and Darley is bad against Yeji attack. We untap, we will draw, we get the Swamp. Let's hold off on playing that immediately, though. Confidant. And the nice thing about Confidant is it is specifically when you cast a spell with mana value less than your devotion. So our once each turn trigger on the first Confidant is not burned yet. We're going to go ahead and pop open our graveyard here. And we're going to ping Diabolical Minion, Confidant, Confidant, Yeji. Resolving Yeji before the Confidants. In theory, I guess it might be better to resolve Yeji after the Confidants just to see what I draw, but I don't think I'm ever shocking in the new divide here because I'm going to 14. So let's go ahead and make a token copy. This thing being permanent is so great. So token copy of new divide. I'm going to take one and draw for the first Confidant. Succumb would have been something nice to hold up, I guess. Take one and draw from the second Confidant. And Minion hits the board. Let's go ahead and play Gloomcover Step untapped. Notably, this is now going to cost us 2 mana to animate moving forward. So, and if we can get the next Confidant into play, it'll cost us 1. Let's go to combat. We're going to turn Yeji sideways. Yep. Flashing in Andarli, the one thing I said would be a problem. Yeah, so Andarli is the biggest concern for this matchup. That is going to make it so I cannot deal with other creatures until I deal with Andarli. That would have been the reason to shock in the new divide. That is a punishment on my part. I should have Confidanted first and anticipated a reason to want to hold up mana. That is another Canopy Culling. And Harmony with Nature. So Harmony is going to make a 1/1 at their end step every turn because they have 2 other enchantments. They are swinging Andarli. We will just go ahead and take the 2. Kind of rough. They had the natural Andarli. Stuff at end step. Yeah, that does not surprise me. So what they get to do is Harmony will make a 1/1 every turn. They could, keep these 1/1s in play, but realistically what that means is their first Canopy Culling, shuffling a creature. All good to resolve things. So they can, push a creature into play and then immediately shuffle that into their library, just destroying the token to untap 2 lands and draw a card, which is going to give them a lot of mana advantage. And they're not shuffling their elf token. We'll untap and upkeep. And I think crack this new divide, go get that mountain now. If no other reason than to just get it out of the deck, I think. Maybe we do get the plains. We've got like a bunch of black spells in hand. We've got another swamp as well. Let's get the mountain. We've got 2 white sources. Just thin it out of the library. We draw a Dishonor. So we're going to use these for the Confidant, Minion, Confidant, Confidant. You're going to gain 1, lose 2, just to get the 2 draws. That's a Heroes Never Die and a Swamp. You're going to Dishonor here. Yeji target new divide. Confidant, Minion. So we will gain 1. Exile Indarli. Lose 1 to draw. 3 mana here. So one of the things I'm thinking about here is with New Divide, if I have it enter untapped, I go to 9, but I can hold up Succumb to History while swinging with the Gates to the Underworld. Okay. If I shock in the New Divide, I can hold up Succumb and still get the Gates swing. I think I like that. Because it also lets us hold up Heroes Never Die, which will hurt us because Minion is in play. Oop, nope, this is an exile. It's not put it back in graveyard. It does not go into graveyard. Let's turn things sideways, shall we? Because we get to Dishonor the elf token, and then... or hold on. Let's animate Gates to the Underworld. So this is a 3/4 lifelinker, because we've got Devotion 5. No Death Shadow, do not worry. Going to start a combat. We're going to turn Yeji, Gates, Confidant, Confidant, and Minion. We're just going... everything that can attack is doing it. Yeji, trigger, targeting, Dishonor. Specifying this because I assume they will want to respond after Dishonor resolves. Or after Yeji has dishonored the token. Yeah, now they're going to respond. Flash into Gay Rallier. Yeah, so they're trading with 2 Confidants and taking 7. I will gain 3, and I will lose the 2 Confidants here. But that's fine, honestly. I still get to hold up Succumb to History. I still get to raise Rampage. We will pass here. Because that was card out of their hand, 2 bodies removed. Tapped New Divide, make a token, and they're just untapping New Divide. They're not floating extra mana. Interesting. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm going to have Ancient here on Succumb to History, which is nice. We're going to go ahead and crack here. View Library. Let's get the planes. Heroes Never Die. Minion ourselves. See if they have any responses. We get a yep. We will take 1 to the minion. Reveal Succumb, Swamp, Swamp. All right, that's just a Confidant tapped. Put those to the bottom, and HND in the graveyard. Now we get to untap and draw. A Granite Harbinger is very nice. Let's go ahead and play Swamp as land for turn. Cast Granite Harbinger. Event Horizon targeting Yeji. Interesting decision point to be had here is we can respond and succumb our own Yeji to to get a Yeji trigger, but all that does is get the Confidant back, which we were doing with Raise Rampage anyways. So I think we're just gonna say, okay, gain 1, Yeji exiled. Harbinger enters. Okay. Raise, targeting Confidant. We have 2 Confidant triggers and a minion trigger. We gain 1, take 1, draw. Take 1, draw. 2 more land. Another land, another Heroes Never Die. Let's go ahead and make a Cast from Exile. And attach this here. So it is 2 to animate, 2 to rampage. I think we're not rampaging here because we have lethal on board. We're just going to move our summoning sick creatures back. Go to combat. And so they are cracking before combat. Oh, yep, we get a concession. Alrighty. So, as far as our opponent's sideboard goes, as evidenced by Endarly's power when she hit the board, they have 2 in the sideboard and 1 in the main deck. That I have to assume is going to come up to a total of 3. They may also include Glimpse of Something Great because we have a very low curve. A lot of our things are mana value 1 or 2. And notably, this does what Endarly can't, which is dodge Dying to Dishonor. Veil Touch Soulbinders may also come in just on the basis of being very good at picking apart our graveyard, really disrupting our Yeji value. So that's something we need to be aware of. I don't think they go up Wazan's Blessing. I think they go down their 2 club promoters in the deck because I don't think that is a very great card against us. I don't think they really care about Avatar of the REV. I don't think they care too much about Viridian, but it was a decent card against us. What we care about is Twilight Ambush, Event Horizon. So something I was thinking about is, maybe we want to have like 1 or 2 Memory Hostage because there are things that we struggle with in their deck. Notably, we struggle with Chosen of Heliod. There's going to be able to bless creatures, give them +1/+1 and protection from creatures, which is going to present some problems over the long game as it will make things that sit in play become immune, but they only have 2 copies of it. They do have ways of searching it out. They do have 4 Acid Hydra, but that just demands so much mana. And as shown in that first game, I don't think they can really readily get the mana they need. So Event Horizon, Twilight Ambush, just the removal spells is kind of where I want to be. So the first place I'm looking at is cut 2 copies of Heroes Never Die. I think I like Heroes a lot. I like getting back Dishonor a lot, but I think in this particular matchup, especially with boarding in the Event Horizons, I don't want to be boarding in a bunch of stuff that hurts us with Minion, and then boarding stuff that gains us life with Minion out. I was looking at, possibly just bringing out the Confidants in playtesting, and I think the Confidants are actually really important, as that game demonstrated, because they just let us bury our opponent in card advantage pretty effectively. Especially since we're going up more 1-mana spells. The other thing I'm thinking about is this is not a matchup that Granite Harbinger looks all that great in. I do like Granite Harbinger a lot, but their creatures just do not really trade with Granite Harbinger. The most Harbinger does is trade with a 2-gay Rallier or one of their many 1/1 tokens. I guess it trades with a Veil Touch Soulbinder as well, but I don't think that's really the most important thing. I like Harbinger a lot. I like gaining life on the minion, but it does not trigger Phalanx's Confidant. Does not do as much in this matchup as I would like it to. So we're going to go down the Harbingers. We're going to go down the Heroes Never Die. The Harbingers being solid blockers is notable. So we're losing some solid blocking power here. We're losing some solid sack fodder to Voidmist Prodigy here. But I think that is important to sort of accept that we are going down these Harbingers because the card advantage engine is too important, the life gain off of Minion is too important, the life gain off of Voidmist is too important, and the value engine of Yeji is too critical as well. One last thing is we could look at cutting Raise Rampage because, again, our opponent's removal is not going to be super well tuned. I could look at maybe like going down 1 Harbinger, or like going down 1 Heroes Never Die, cut the Raise Rampages, cut the Mountain. Actually, I think I am going to do that. I think I'm going to trim the Raise Rampages. We can run the Transgress Identities. We could run the Agonizing Remorses, maybe. But I think we're going to go ahead and go up the go up the Harbingers again. I don't think Raise Rampage is as important in this matchup. Now I'm having like questioning moments of like maybe we go down a Yeji just because they are likely to board in those Veil Touched Soulbinders, and those are going to really hinder our ability to get consistent Yeji value. I don't know. I think this is going to be where I sit here. Not take too much time here. Gotta commit eventually. And we see an opening hand of 4 lands, Dishonor, Event Horizon, Yeji. Interesting. I might keep this, honestly. Mm-hmm. Our opponent keeps. I will do the same. We got a Spectator in here. Heart of the Glade. We draw Minion. That is going to force interaction from our opponents. And notably, again, they've got 4 Event Horizon, and that is it for their interaction. Unfortunately, we have 2 white spells in our hand, and that's even with us boarding out a Yeji. That's the Veil Touch Soulbinder. does not confirm that they boarded in Soulbinder, but does improve my theory that they went up it. We're going to play New Divide tapped and dishonor that. Yeah, so they lose 1, we gain 1. And we're going to go to combat and swing 1. We are going to crack the New Divide on draw step, I think possibly for the second plains. Hardy Rough Rider, that's going to be a problem. So they gain 3. Untap, upkeep, crack the New Horizon, or New Divide for a plains. And draw. We draw another swamp. Not again. Play the swamp, play Yeji. We lose 1 to Diabolical Minion, and pass. Not like this, please. It's another Heart of the Glade tapped. Notably, they can't remove Yeji here. Event Horizon does not see the requisite permanents, non-land permanents on either board. But that is posing issues because we also can't remove Hardy Rough Rider right now. Renowned Rough Rider, interesting. So going to get to make a token. That does put us on having enough. We take 3. Having enough permanents on our opponent's board to Event Horizon their Rough Rider. We will untap and draw. That is a Twilight Ambush. So we can Event Horizon, Twilight Ambush, get a Yeji trigger out of that. Let's play Swamp. I think we're going to hold on to Event Horizon Twilight Ambush because I want my opponent to try and target Yeji first. So we're going to go to combat. We're going to swing 3 ourselves. They're going to take 3. And we are just going to pass here. We see a plains from our opponent. Would love to see a Finax's Confidant. A Smirk, actually. Smirk would be amazing. So they are sending 7 here. If we Event Horizon first, they can respond in Event Horizon themselves. I think we just take the 7. Don't love it, but... we will just untap and draw. That is Succumb to History. What does now mean we can... kick off things here. Play another Swamp. Just clicking Start a Combat because I know they do have the Binding Whispers. They could tap something down in Start a Combat. One of the things I need to think about is, am I swinging with the minion or am I blocking with the minion? I think I am just swinging with Yeji. Okay, they're taking 3. Main 2. We have all this instant speed interaction. We're just going to pass. We see tap 2 for Event Horizon on Yeji. In response, we are going to Event Horizon their Rough Rider. We're choosing the Renowned Rough Rider here, so we will take one. And now we are going to Twilight Ambush the untapped human. Yeji trigger, Dishonor. We will gain one from Diabolical. They're going to tap 2 for second Event Horizon. This was exactly what I was hoping for. So this is burning 2 Event Horizons. Oh. So they lose 1, they gain 1. We get to blank both Event Horizons, kill both of their tokens, exile Dishonor from our graveyard. Holy crap. We are now in this game all of a sudden. I shouldn't have been the one to click end, but I think we were both kind of out of things there. 4 mana, please. No, not Chosen of Heliod. No. The thing we needed them not to draw there. Oh. Granted, they could have been holding that and drawn the Buried Colossus, but still, this is a disaster scenario here. Top deck Event Horizon does mean we can trick them on blocks, but this thing still has first strike, so it still eats Yeji in that scenario. We will draw a Gloomcover Step. God, this was the last thing we needed to see out of our opponent here. We're going to play Step and Pass. This did kind of go exactly how I said it would, which was, you know, if our opponent lands a Chosen of Heliod, it is going to be a nightmare for us. Granted, now we have top decks that come to history to get us in this, because New Divide and Graveyard plus 6 lands and 1 in hand does mean land drop puts us to Ancient. Yeah, we can't block. And they just pass. Notably, Devotion of 3. So this costs 3 less. It costs 6. They are 1 mana off of activating Buried Colossus here. We will untap and we will draw. Yeesh, come on. Dormant Temple. Crack it and draw. That is a Smirk, Dark Hands favored. So we've got a turn. Smirk. So we gain 1. Smirk enters. Let's go ahead and create a token for our evil plan. Go ahead and put the top 2 cards of our library into play face down. Where is play top card? Face down. There we go. Let's go ahead and peek at these card faces. So we have a Voidmist Prodigy and a Swamp. Yeesh, come on, Smirk. Let's go ahead and tuck these under the evil plan for now. And let's go to combat. Waiting to see the K from our opponent. Oh, they're saying, We get the K. So just double checking. 1, 2, 3 Devotion. 5 and a green or a white. This is 6 mana. They need 7. They need 6 mana outside of the Buried Colossus. So we will swing with Yeji. They take 3. Oh, Lord. No, you do not have another Event Horizon. Ozon's Blessing is also bad. I assume they're getting Andarli. That's just gonna be game. Because they can animate Buried Colossus and or actually, yeah, that's still GG's. So if I understand correctly, Andarli does shove Heliod's Glory off. Just making sure I get a judge to confirm that on Heliod's Glory, Chosen of Heliod. Because if I understand correctly, protection prevents it from being... Because I believe this is mana value 2. Oh. I've been misreading Andarli. All right. Yeah, it's mana value 3 or greater. So actually, I don't know why they're still on Andarli. It really only matters for Yeji. So I'm not just dead. This is still terrible. This is a terrible position to be in. So Andarli, not as disastrous as I thought it was. Yeji can't do anything about this, but they're going to go ahead and pay. Oh, they're not going to pay 6 to Chosen of Heliod. I think they're deciding if they just want a Buried Colossus. Okay, yeah, no. They are going to end Arlie here. This is interesting, actually. Not what I was expecting. Okay, yeah, they're just swinging the 4. Oh, are they not swinging? Oh, they're swinging Andarli? Yeah, we just take 3. So in worst case scenario, we can pop Void Mist Prodigy out of exile. Wait. Oh no. We win. We win. Void Mist out of exile with our evil plan. Swing 3, Yeji trigger, eat the Void Mist out of our graveyard because they took 1 from Dormant Clearing, and even if they hadn't, Diabolical Minion's going to get the 1 last point of damage. Oh, and we drew the Void Mist anyways. I think it's funnier if we show the 1 in our evil plan, though. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Evil plan. I'm going to unattach and cast Minion here. Enter, sack, combat, swing everything. I thought I was dead there for sure. And then Yeji, target Void Mist. Oh, wow. Oh my goodness. So that is round two a win. That is purely on me misreading Endarly here as mana value 3 or less. I don't know how I keep doing this to myself. I feel like I remember doing this when Endarly was in rotation as well. Whew. What a match. Alrighty. Well, we are still in this for another round. We're not out of contention for top cut yet. See you all in round 3.